Hey YouTube, it's Valerie with Money Mindset Coach. Today, I just wanted to talk to you about some frugal tips, which is a lot of what I talk about anyway. But I found a list that had some stuff on it that I really had not heard of before. And there's a lot of other YouTube channels that are frugal that I am subscribed to myself. And there are a few things on here that were new to me. And so I'd like to share them with you. So, in case you've never been here before, I talk about frugality, saving money, spending money, how to live a great life on less money because money isn't everything. So, let's get started. Let me see if I can get to my list. Okay. Some of these you're definitely heard before. I'm going to go through these pretty quick. But one of the things that I'd never heard of before was YSense. It's a money making app. And, I mean, we're all, especially if we are on Medicare, some of us are retired, some of us are semi retired. You know what? If there's a really fun, interesting way to make a little bit of extra money, that's always a good thing. So there's this app called YSense. Some of these I'm going to go through. I'm going to go through pretty quick because I'm sure we have talked about them before or you've heard of them before. A high yield savings account for your money. Don't go with a little interest rate. Use that big interest rate and make that money work for you and make money just sitting there. Rocket Money can get rid of unused subscriptions. There's plenty of things on Roku that are free. You don't have to spend money on Netflix and Max and all these different apps. There's plenty of free content, including YouTube. YouTube. Honey is a money saving app. I've heard of Honey before, but I've never tried it. So I'm going to check it out. Buy food that's in season. In season is going to cost less because merely it's in season. And it's going to be better for you because it maybe didn't come all the way from Mexico. Maybe your grocery store has produce in their grocery store from area farmers. Much better for you, I mean, it hasn't taken a long time to get to that store, so it's going to be better for you. Generic brands. No need to buy name brand ibuprofen, acetaminophen, Pepto-Bismol, NyQuil. All of these things are made generically, and they cost a lot less when you buy them that way. Cut the cable. I did this a year, almost 2 years ago. Haven't regretted it. Buy a used car, not new. I have a video on my $7,000 car that has almost 200,000 miles on it, and I've had it for 2 years, put 30,000 on it. Never had a thing go wrong with it. It hasn't needed brakes, tires, nothing. Great car. And the thing is you do not need to buy a $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 vehicle for no reason. Sell stuff you don't need. If you're not using it, get rid of it. Donate it, sell it, give it to somebody that could really be blessed. I have a story. I had a German puzzle, very, very nice puzzle, because I thought I was going to do that because it was going to be good for my brain. I didn't like puzzles before, and I still don't. And so when it came to putting that thing together, I was not enjoying it. And I have a friend who loves to put puzzles together, and I gave it to her. It wasn't doing me any good. This was one I had never heard of before. And I don't know if I could actually do it, but maybe some of you have done this. But Go into a local boutique if you have that near you and ask for their spare hangers. You know, hangers cost money. They might have hangers that they would love to get rid of and they'll just give them to you. Worth a try. Check the lower shelves and the higher shelves for the lowest price in the grocery store. You know, everything that is higher priced is going to be right at eye level because that's the easiest to see. You have to look a little harder to look low and high, but you can find a lower price on something. Case in point, the grocery store in my town, I don't know why, but Maxwell House coffee, that's a smaller can, is eye level, and there's a bigger can on the bottom shelf that's bigger and it's less money. But it's still Maxwell House, so that's the one I buy. Makes no sense. Just Answer is an app where you can ask a lawyer, doctor, computer whiz, etc. a question. It depends on what your question is and who you're asking it to how much that question will cost you, but it will be a lot less than seeing a lawyer, going to the doctor. You know, it's worth trying. Buy local. I'm a big believer in this. I work in a small town that's a tourist town. We have a lot of tourists that come into our kitchen boutique, but we also have a lot of local people because when you patronize the local stores in your town, that helps your town and that helps everybody there. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing to do that, you know, and you may pay a little bit more money, but I can tell you that in a local store, a small business, your customer service is going to be better than going into Target or Walmart. You know, when you go into Walmart, you can't even find anybody to help you if you needed it. And even if you did, are they very friendly? No, because I don't think they love their job. But that's just me. Meal prep, eat at home. Restaurants are expensive. I limit myself to $50 a month for eating out. That usually gives me 2 lunches. That's one thing. Going out to lunch instead of going out to dinner. A lot of times the lunch menu will be cheaper. The prices will be cheaper than the dinner menu. That's something to think about. And when I go out to eat, I go out to lunch with my friends. I do not go out to dinner. Now, when my boyfriend and I went to Hannibal last weekend, we ate at a beautiful, wonderful Italian restaurant. I thought it was very romantic. It was kind of like Tuscany. My lasagna was like no lasagna I've ever had, and I love lasagna and I make a good lasagna. $22 for this lasagna. I had a glass of wine for $10. We had an appetizer. He had a small pizza. With tip, it came to $70. That's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. So, you know, have it in your budget to eat out, but put a certain dollar amount and then don't go over that. Don't do the expensive vacations. If you want to do it the frugal way, do a day trip. Look at the radius of 100 miles from where you live and see what is in that radius. And check out some of those places. You might find some really neat, out-of-the-way places. And they're very short. You don't have to get lodging. You can drive there, get a good early start, have plenty of time, and then drive home and have a wonderful time. That was the other thing about Hannibal. We stayed in a Best Western that was on the river. Even with the senior discount, we were still at $200 for the night. That's a lot, considering we checked in after 3 o'clock on Sunday into Monday. Those weren't even prime days. I don't get it. I don't get it. But anyway, that's a good way to do it. Take those little day trips. It will save you money, and you'll still be feeling like you're getting away and you're doing something. Thrift shop for what you're looking for before you start looking somewhere else. See if you can find it there. You never know what you might find, but you might find it there. There can be something there that somebody else never used, hardly ever used, and you could get it for dollars, a few dollars maybe. Buy a used cell phone. The last 2 iPhones that I have had have been used, that I've paid $300 for, paid cash. How much is a new iPhone? They're like $1,000 or more. And people finance them and pay for them every month. I can't do that. I buy a cell phone. It's still getting updates. And you know what? The phone is still decent even if it doesn't get updates anymore. Because what do I use my cell phone for? I text, I call, I get on Facebook. I do have YouTube Studio. I get on my email. My apps are all still there, and they would all still work. Maybe they're not going to have the latest update, but who cares? They've been working just fine. So even if your phone isn't getting updates anymore, it doesn't mean it's not usable. You can still use it. But I use my phone for as long as I possibly can. Go to Mint Mobile. I had Cricket. Now I have Mint Mobile. I went from $30 to $15. So I cut that in half. Avoid souvenirs. That's hard for me. I was just in Hannibal and I ended up buying something to go with my horse collection because that's kind of what I do. It would be something to where I'll look at it and I'm going to be like, oh yeah, we got that when we were in Hannibal. I'm sorry. I like souvenirs and I usually budget for that. So, yeah, you can take pictures instead, but I don't tend to go by this one. Sorry. But I'm honest with you. Greeting cards. Some people don't buy greeting cards. I still like to buy cards. I do. But I'll go to Dollar Tree. I'll go to the dollar store. I'll pay $1 a piece or 50 cents. I still do that. I still like to give a card along with a gift. I do. And I got to tell you, the birthday cards that my mom and dad gave me, I still have them. I can still see my mom's handwriting, and I will never get rid of those. They are very near and dear to me. So I still buy greeting cards, but I do buy the frugal way. Doing your own manicure and your pedicure, this kind of goes without saying. Those things cost a lot of money, and you can do them yourself. It is nice to be pampered. It is nice. I have done it, but I don't do it anymore. Cut open the containers to get the very last bit out of them. Yeah, you can do that. Toothpaste especially, that tube, that's still, when you're up at the top and you're really trying to get it out, there's still some in there. So maybe you can get a couple brushings in with what's left, Every little bit helps. Get an itemized medical bill. So many times I have gotten medical bills where they just say, this is how much you owe. They might say, like the last Medicare bill that I got, it showed how much for radiology. It did kind of break it down. But when you're in the hospital and you have an aspirin, all those little things that you really don't think about how much they cost, but they're charging you an outrageous cost. There is no federal regulation for how much one medical procedure costs over another. There's no regulation on that. So you could go get an appendectomy at one hospital and it might be cheaper than the one over here. And I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right, but and then once you know what those itemized costs are, you can call that hospital and you can negotiate and you can say, I can't believe that I was charged that for that thing. You have the numbers in front of you, and when you have the numbers in front of you, that is power. But hospitals do make mistakes. They can end up charging you something that you didn't even have done. So it's good to check it out. Trust and Will is an online to draft legal documents. Hey, you can do that. You can do that online. You don't have to go to a lawyer to do that. I mean, you could pay a couple $1,000 maybe to have a lawyer do some of these things for you. Everybody should have a will. I need to have a will. And I've been trying to figure out how to do it. And I'm going to check this out and see if this is a good thing. Seeking Alpha for investments. I had not heard of them before. There's so many investment places out there now. And I got to tell you, when it comes to investments, that's the one area of my money that I don't really feel like, I don't know. I don't feel super confident in how to do that. But maybe this Seeking Alpha would help you. Check out Goodwill, Salvation Army, etc. for furniture. I tend to be leery of upholstered furniture. I would never buy a used mattress, I guess, unless it was from somebody that I knew. But I'm not going to go there. I don't really like that. But when it comes to wood furniture, you might find a really good quality piece. I mean, open up the drawer, look on the side, see if it is a dovetail drawer. Those are more quality, much better quality, and it could last you forever. When it comes to exercise, do you really need to go to the gym? I mean, you can pay to go to the gym if you'd like, but even if you go to Club Fitness, Planet Fitness, where these monthly plans are $10 or whatever, they get so many people to sign up for these that never go. That's how they make their money. They don't, all these people who are paying $120 a year that never show up there. That's how they're making their money. It's very attractive for it to be only $10 a month. But if you don't go, it doesn't matter. You're wasting $120 a year, where you could, just like I was saying, what we were talking about investing. What if you invested $120? What if you saved that? Go to YouTube. You can find every kind of exercise that you're looking for. The one that I do is, oh gosh, what's the name of it? Improved Health. Oh my gosh. She's a lady. I know she does these exercises for women that are 50 and over. She looks to be older. She's really in great shape, but she doesn't talk. Everything is kind of off to the side, so you just kind of follow along. She shows you what the next exercise is going to look like before you get there. She does ones that if you want to do so many steps, that's how many steps you do when you get done with the video. She's great. I really, really like her, and she comes up with new videos all the time, all the time. Now, cheap travel. There's easy ways to travel cheap. Walk. Don't take a taxi or an Uber. You can get on your GPS. You can hit, put the address in of where you want to go, and then you can hit the walk, and then it'll tell you how many minutes it takes to walk there, and you can follow it along so you don't get lost. I mean, GPS is great even if you're walking, and I've used it. Travel during the off season. Don't go at the height of the season. You're going to pay more for everything. everything. Travel to cheap destinations. You know, not every place has to be super expensive. Get a hotel room with a kitchen, preferably microwave too. Most hotel rooms anymore have a refrigerator so you can have cold stuff in there, but it is nice to have a microwave so you can heat something up if you want. If you can eat breakfast and lunch and then just go out for dinner, you will cut down your restaurant eating out bills so much. It's not even funny. Talk to the locals for the best deals. They know where to go. They do. The cheapest day to fly is Tuesdays. Book flights between 12 to 3 weeks before you take your trip. The next cheapest days to fly are Sundays and Wednesdays. Use less laundry detergent. We all know we use too much. If you go by the cup and the line, you're using way too much. You don't need it. I mean, your clothes are not dirty. You don't need to do that. Air dry your clothes. You will help your dryer last longer. You will help your clothes last longer. Look at your lint trap. That tells you right there. Good RX. Use it even if you have a prescription plan with your insurance. You can still use that. You might get more money off. It might help you. I've done videos on cost plus drugs. I get my medications for a fraction of what I was paying when I did have United Healthcare, or no, Blue Cross Blue Shield. I pay less now. Drink water. I have a Brita pitcher so I can filter. I mean, there are more expensive ways to filter your water, like reverse osmosis. There's some really fancy ways to do it out there. I don't have the money for that. I just use a Brita water filter pitcher, pour the water through, and I am doing the best I can to filter my water. Have your water bottle, fill it up with ice, and drink water most of the day. Do not buy bottled water. There are times where bottled water, you need it. You know, I understand that. I buy it every once in a great while, but on average, I don't. And that will save you a lot of money too. Plus, it's better for the environment to not have all those plastic bottles going into the environment and being thrown away. Get gas any day other than Thursday. This website that I went to, it said that they raised the price on Thursdays. I didn't know that. Change your air filter on your furnace. We all know that that's a good thing to do. I think you're supposed to do that every 3 months, maybe every month. You know, you can't do it too much. Shop for alcohol on Mondays. It's cheaper. Grocery shop on Wednesday or Sunday. Eat out on Mondays or Tuesdays. Yeah, the weekends going to cost you more. Save the condiment packages that usually fast food gives you too many. You know, use those. This was one I had never thought about doing, but you know, the envelope that you get in the bill that you get in the mail if you get them that way, but then you end up paying it online. Save those envelopes. You might be able to use those for something. Who knows? The cheat sheet for sell-by dates in the grocery store. The sell-by advises the store to know how long to display the product. Best if used by advises the consumer for the best taste or quality. It's not a safety concern. So best if used by, if you go past that, it's still fine. It's not going to hurt you. It's not going to kill you if you eat it. You know, maybe the taste won't be as good. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. I don't know. Used by advises a consumer when a product's quality will be compromised. Yeah. Used by dates I usually go by. Costco. Discounted items at Costco end in 97 cents. Target. Their cost will end in 04, 4 cents. The Gap ends in 97 cents. Walmart items, 00. J.C. Penney, I don't know where there is a J.C. Penney. They end up 97 also. Kohl's, this is interesting. I did not know this. So for you Kohl's people, I don't tend to go into Kohl's, but items at their lowest cost have a square in the upper right-hand corner. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. But it all comes down to this: benefits of frugal living. You could do an early retirement. Financially, I think you're going to be happier because you're content with what you have. You use what you have. Increased net worth. You know, you've been saving, you've been investing, you've been not spending on things that don't matter to you. And with that goes along decreased financial stress. I used to be completely stressed about money all the time. All the time. I think about how stressed I was. I wish I could go back. When you have the emergency fund, when you have that 3 to 6 months living expenses saved up, you have the ability to weather the storm. You know, that could be a layoff. That could be a company being sold and there is no company to work for anymore. That's happened to me twice. In my 60s, that's happened. But you have the ability to weather a financial storm by doing that. And then, you know, if you're less stressed and maybe you're not working all the time, maybe you are retired, maybe you're semi-retired. I guess people would call me semi-retired because I work 2 or 3 days a week. I don't work 40 hours. I really don't. But you have a better quality time with your friends and family. Your quality time is going to be better because you're not worried about money. You're less stressed. Life is good, you know? I mean, things can be great. So these were quite a few tips. I went through them probably as fast as I possibly could. But anyway, that is all I have for now. So, like I say, every time, use it up, wear it out, make it do, or do without. Till next time, bye.